All right, so I did want to talk about a few different things, just some random stuff going on in the political world. Jordan Peterson comes out and says he is supporting Trump, but he's also saying Trump not the preferred candidate. We've seen Joe Rogan echo a similar sentiment. I'm guessing that's what a lot of these archetype guys who they're kind of on the right wing, but they still want to. I guess Jordan Peterson is on the right wing, but Joe Rogan's still trying to, maybe appear independent. They're backing Trump, but they also say, no, I admit that Trump isn't the best, but I'm supporting him in 2024. I don't even think Rogan's done that, but I would expect Rogan to back Trump in the end. And then Jordan Peterson coming out and saying that he believes Biden has ditched any hope of new ties due to an inconvenience of recognizing Trump's achievements in office. Trump had no war under his administration. And again, this is why the argument that Trump's going to start World War III makes no sense. It's actually an insult to Americans' intelligence. How dumb do you think we are? We've already had 4 years of Trump. There was way more peace under that administration than there's been with Biden. Now, you can argue that, oh, it's not Biden's fault, that those are world problems. But in general, the idea that, oh, Trump's going to come into office, it's going to be fascist, he's going to start World War III, why wouldn't Trump, if he's such this big fascist, destroy democracy in 2016? He's already been in office for 4 years. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like there's no argument there. You're arguing something that's already happened. You're saying Trump's going to start World War III. He's already been in office for 4 years. I don't know what to tell you. We had more peace under him than we do Biden. And I agree. I think it's not just Biden's fault these wars are going on, but it's like the argument of there's going to be more war under Trump. That's ridiculous. We've seen it play out in the previous 7 years, and that's what Jordan Peterson is saying. So Jordan Peterson comes out and, tries to ride the fence a little bit, saying, well, Trump's not the best, but, we'll support him in 2024, thinks that Trump can win in 2024. Certainly Trump, he might win. When anyone asks me about the election, it's always a 50-50 proposition. It's way too early. I mean, sure, you could say Trump's up in a lot of the swing states. It's virtually meaningless. There's going to be so much stuff, so many narratives, so many stories that come out that swing this election one way or another. The idea that I could accurately predict and say Trump's got a 70% chance, a 65% chance, it comes as a staggering new poll suggests RFK could have a foothold in the race to the White House. A Quinnipiac University. Quinnipiac is terrible. I would not use Quinnipiac as an accurate pollster. But according to a survey, there was a hypothetical three-way match in 2024. Kennedy would get 22% of the vote. And I've said this RFK take several times. I was looking, it was like he was around 14-15% of the popular vote when you pin him against Biden and Trump. That number is going to keep falling because the argument that Trump is going to make, if you vote for RFK, you're voting for Biden. The argument that Biden is going to make and the Democrats as a whole, because really when you're talking about Biden, it's just the Democrats. Biden's not doing a single thing. The argument that they're going to make, it is more so if you vote for RFK, you're voting for Trump. A vote for RFK is a vote for fascism, MAGA. It's that type of verbiage. So RFK support should go down significantly. We would expect, unless there's some type of situation where both Trump and Biden have a terrible story come out about them, both at around the same time, and then maybe RFK gains the support, and you've got all these people who are alienated by both parties start to think, hey, maybe RFK can actually win and voting for RFK is okay. I don't think we're there yet as a country to where a third party can win because there's still a lot of these people and you'll talk to them. They'll be like, yeah, I hate both sides. And then when it comes down to it, they'll be like, no, all Republicans are racist. I have to vote Democrat. That's normally what ends up happening. And it's the same thing with Republicans, people who say, no, I'm an independent, and then they vote right wing because they hate liberals. It's just like if you hate a party enough, you're not going to vote for the independent because you think if you vote for the independent, you're basically de facto voting for the other party because you don't think the independent has a chance of winning. The only way RFK can possibly win is if a lot of people start to believe he has a chance of winning, and you would need certain stories to come out about both Biden, maybe Biden with horrible medical records, unfit, coming out, not being able to speak right, maybe Trump with stuff getting indicted. I don't know what it would be, but that would be RFK's path. It's more of a belief amongst citizens that voting for RFK could lead to a victory. But again, both of these parties, they've had a stranglehold on this country for so long, they understand that, if you've got someone on the fence, maybe they're a libertarian, you vote for RFK, you're voting for Biden. That is the problem, but apparently he's at 22% in that poll. Trump's at 36%. Biden's at 39%. Yeah, it's a crap poll. Quinnipiac was one of those pollsters, if I remember correctly, was horrible in 2020, and it really warped the swing states and their overall average. I think Biden had, in terms of the polling, was like +7 in Wisconsin. He ends up winning it by 0.03% or whatever it is. If you're looking for the most accurate representation in terms of like percentage on the presidency, I would say the betting average, if you just go on realclearpolitics.com, that's probably the best depiction. You can see Trump's taken a bit of an advantage over Biden, right around 37.5%. Biden's at 29%. I would expect with the recent polls that to tighten up a little bit. Trump maybe drop down to about 34, 35%. Biden maybe move up to like 32 or 33%. But this is why it's so hard for RFK. You've got Nikki Haley at 10%. You've got Newsom at 6%. But Newsom's fallen a lot. Newsom kind of in that weird, blue color. He was up to third overall, and he's fallen significantly, and the reason he's fallen, it's just because time has passed. The thought process is they would need to put Newsom in, you would think at least a year or 11 months before the election to try and give him some type of incumbent advantage. The fact that we're already into January with Biden still as the guy, people think they're sticking with Biden. We'll see. And of course, Biden's health might just deteriorate to the point where they have to go with someone else. The other issue is, this is the bigger problem, it's Kamala Harris. So they've done this whole thing, the Democrats, where they're very pro-minority, they're pro-female. How terrible of a look would it be to pass up Kamala Harris for Gavin Newsom, a white male? You say, oh, that's ridiculous. Well, to the Democrats, it's very important. Those type of things matter a lot. The only way that could possibly be done is if they convince Kamala Harris to come out in a public statement and say, oh no, I don't want to be president, or do something like that, and then Newsom takes over. But even that's a little bit shady. So I think they're kind of screwed with Kamala Harris in the vice president role. If Biden decides his health isn't good, they want him out, she has to be the next one to be up, and she's just as unlikable as Biden, which de facto makes her even more unlikable because she's in the background. You'll never see the VP more unliked than the president, just because it's kind of harder to dislike the VP because they don't get blamed for anything, but she has a similar horrible approval rating that Biden does. But yeah, there's Michelle Obama, 5%. I don't think it's happening. Kennedy, right, even below her. It's just going to be hard for Kennedy. DeSantis, it's not happening. Vivek sitting right with DeSantis. Vivek's path is Trump somehow. Something happens to Trump, they get him out, and then Trump endorses Vivek. That would be his path. And that's kind of like, if you're Vivek, do you drop out yet? Do you wait until, I don't think Vivek can sustain this workload that he's been doing, honestly. So if he comes in really low, like 5 or 6%, I think he has to drop out tonight, but we will see. And then this is another thing. This is just sad to see, man. It's really all of them. It's all the mainstream media. Let's see. It's the countdown to Iowa. Yes, the big caucus happening today. You can see what CNN is doing here. Looking at that map, they're already understanding that Donald Trump is going to win. So they're saying, who's going to finish in second? Who's going to finish in third? And look at who they leave off the list. Vivek Ramaswamy. But they have to include Asa Hutchinson, who's right now polling at like 0.5%. They include him, but not Ramaswamy. It's just so disingenuous. Why do this? Why are these media companies like this? It's so bad, but it's not just them. It is also Fox. I guess Fox could say, well, we could only fit the top 3. But again, it's like Vivek Ramaswamy. He is getting around 7 to 8%. He's been to all these places. The work ethic is ridiculous. And even Elon Musk comes out this morning and says in a little post or a tweet that he thinks Ramaswamy is going to do a lot better than expected. I would hope so. The dude's he goes to 6 different campaign events every single day, in the cold, in the snow. Crazy cold front right now. It's like -degrees in Des Moines and other parts of Iowa, and a lot of the United States is freezing right now. But yeah, that's another kind of snub there. I mean, listen, why would you not include Ramaswamy? 7 or 8%, I think, is notable enough in terms of his polling average to include Although if you are Fox, you could say, well, we're just doing the top 3. That's all we could fit on the graph. I don't know. I just think it's kind of crap. But either way, guys, I just wanted to talk about Jordan Peterson coming out, saying that he thinks Trump can win, backing him, but also kind of doing the thing, well, he's not the best choice, kind of the Joe Rogan playbook, but probably going to be voting for Trump in 2024. It's not surprising. Either way, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.